The PlayStation Store is running an awesome sale right now with the Golden Week sale, and I know for a lot of you guys this sale doesn't interest you too much because you're seeing all of these Japanese games and games you might call weeaboo games. However, there are a ton of great deals available, and there are actually a lot of deals available for those of you guys that aren't even that into Japanese games that'll cater towards a Western audience as well. And in today's video, I'm going to be taking a look at 10 great deals as a part of that sale, but I want to cover some games that I think will also cater to a Western audience, and we'll go through those first. Of course, we've got the Japanese games in there as well, and we'll get to those as well. So without further ado, let's get right into it. And by the way, I am going over the prices as a PlayStation Plus subscriber, as they are enjoying steeper discounts. So without further ado, let's get right into this. Kicking things off, we have one of the best games of this generation. I don't think it's hyperbole in saying that Mahjong World is incredible, and it is 60% off for $19.99. Now, Mahjong World, if we're talking about pure bang for your buck, this is probably as good as it gets. This game offers a sizable amount of content for your money. You're talking about a game that you're gonna sink easily over 100 hours in. You can play it for over 200 hours, 300 hours. Capcom has done a phenomenal job in keeping the game updated, and we do know that the first paid expansion is gonna come to the game as well in Iceborne. Honestly, at some point, MH World is probably gonna get the definitive version or a Game of the Year version or whatever the case may be. That includes the game and the expansion, but that's still probably a little ways away given that the expansion isn't even out yet. If you're interested in MH World, if you want to get into this experience, if you want to play it with a couple of friends for $20, it is an absolute steal. And I would give that an absolute recommendation. Next up, we have one of the most underrated PlayStation 4 exclusives, a game that I constantly go to bat for, and that is Gravity Rush 2. It is 40% off for $12. I believe Gravity Rush Remastered is also on sale. I think it's 60% off for $7.99, so that's not a bad deal either. Gravity Rush 2 is without a doubt a better game. Gravity Rush 1 was developed with the PlayStation Vita in mind, and then it was ported on over to the PlayStation 4. Still a great game. Gravity Rush 2, however, obviously from a technical standpoint is better. The world is bigger, there's more content, it's just a better game all around. Unfortunately, commercially, it didn't do all too well. The game's online servers were shut down, which is a bummer as well, but the single player content still offers you a lot to delve into, and visually the game is gorgeous, the gameplay is strong, it's such a unique game, and you've got top-notch presentation in there as well. 40% off for $12 is a great deal. I'm always gonna go to bat for this game just because at some point in my lifetime I want to see Gravity Rush 3, but that probably won't ever happen. If you've yet to play GR2, however, go back and play it. It's well worth your time and money. Next up, we've got Dead Cells, 30% off for $17.49. This is literally one of my favorite games of 2018 among the God of Wars, the Spider-Mans, the Red Dead Redemption 2s. Dead Cells, to me, ranked right up there with them. And of course, from a technical standpoint, it doesn't hold up in comparison to those big budget games. However, Dead Cells offered an incredible Metroidvania experience with great presentation, great visuals, great music, great gameplay. I can go on and on and on. And Dead Cells was one of those games that, yes, while playing it initially, for the first hour or so, I'm like, okay, I can see why people like it, but I wasn't completely invested into it. But as I played more and more, man, this game really hooked me, and it deserves all the praise in the world. It is holding up in price, still $17.49, considering this game is, what, 8 months old at this point? But it is easily worth that, and they recently released a pretty sizable update for the game as well, a free update at that. And it's a game you can easily play for north of 30, 40, even 50 hours. It's a game with a lot of longevity, a lot of replayability, and for $17.49 would absolutely recommend it to you guys. Next up, a couple of the Resident Evil games are on sale as well, so I want to mention a couple of them. Resident Evil 2, the most recent in the franchise, is 33% off for $40.19. Of course, Resident Evil 2 is tremendous for a lot of people. It is their current game of the year. I don't know if I would agree with that, but it's definitely among the top 3 alongside like Devil May Cry 5 and Sekiro. Resident Evil 2 is a top-notch game. The only issue with this game is from a longevity standpoint. If you're looking for games that are going to give you a lot of quantity of gameplay, Resident Evil 2 for your money probably isn't that, given that you can complete this game in 15 hours, and that's if you take your time and don't know the RE2 layout by heart. But 15 hours of gameplay is still pretty solid, and Resident Evil 2 really emphasizes quality over quantity, and what you get out of Resident Evil 2 is absolute quality, and Capcom has also updated this game, added more content. Yes, it's still at a steep price point, but what can you expect? The game just came out a couple of months ago. $40 for it, I would still say, is very much worth it. Outside of that, I also do want to quickly mention that Resident Evil 4 is 60% off for $7.99. Resident Evil 4, to me, before RE2, was my favorite game in the Resident Evil series. Shows some of its aging, but for $8, still a worthwhile game to go back and play. Unfortunately, a couple of the Resident Evil games aren't on sale, like RE5 isn't on sale for whatever reason, so that's a little bit of a bummer, but still, if you played through Resident Evil 2, you enjoyed it so much, and you want more Resident Evil in your life, Resident Evil 4 isn't a bad buy at $8. Next up, we have Dragon Quest XI Echoes of an Elusive Age, 50% off for $30. This has hit this price point quite regularly at this point, but it's still a very easy JRPG to recommend. It's a very old school JRPG in that it retains the Dragon Quest fundamentals. Unlike Square Enix's other popular JRPG series and Final Fantasy shakes things up with every entry. Dragon Quest XI really doesn't do that in the Dragon Quest franchise in general. The formula generally stays the same, but the formula works. It's a quality turn-based JRPG with a great cast of characters, a pretty good story, and a lot of gameplay as well. You can sink a lot of time into this one as well, and for $30, I think it is a good buy. It's just that if you're expecting some fast-paced, high-octane action RPG, you're really not going to find that with DQ11. It is a little bit slower paced, but at the same time, it modernizes that turn-based formula to make it engaging to modern players as well, so that's something to note, and for $30, I think it's a pretty good pickup. While Dragon Quest XI isn't going to offer you that high-octane action gameplay, a game that will absolutely offer you that is Nier Automata, and we've got the Game of the Yorha edition on sale, 25% off for $30. Nier Automata is another one of those games that I can't say enough good things about. Platinum Games did a tremendous job with this game, and as a Platinum Games title, you know that you're getting some excellent action-oriented gameplay, and that's absolutely there. You've got some very interesting storytelling in this one as well, a little bit jumbled at times, but once you play through the game, you gotta play through it a couple times to get the entire gist of the story. It becomes a rather compelling narrative. Visually, the game looks great. There's a lot of additional content if you want to do everything. And with the Game of the Yorha edition, you're not getting sizable DLC that's going to incredibly extend your experience. However, you do get some nice in-game goodies, and you do get a PlayStation 4 dynamic theme, a set of PS4 avatars, stuff like that. The base game itself is already worth it and then some, so to get it for $30, of course, I'm going to give that a recommendation, a great game. Next one, I haven't seen a lot of people talk about this being on sale, but Shadow of the Colossus, while it's not getting a deep discount, it is 25% off down to $15. The base price is already $19.99, so any type of discount on SOTC is gonna be great, and for $15 you are getting one of the best and most iconic PlayStation 2 games ever released. Many would say that SOTC is the best PS2 game of all time. However, the only thing that held it back in the PS2 days was from a technical standpoint. Some of the technical performance left a little bit to be desired, and that's because the game was so ahead of its time. This should have not been a PlayStation 2 game. It probably would have better been serviced as a PS3 game, or in this case, a PlayStation 4 game, and this version of Shadow of the Colossus was done by Bluepoint Games, a studio that is known for doing great remakes, and they really shine with Shadow of the Colossus. You can make an argument that this is one of, if not the best looking games on the PlayStation 4. Yes, it's a PS2 game, but Bluepoint did a tremendous job in remaking the game, and it looks phenomenal, especially on the PlayStation 4 Pro. And if you've never played Shadow of the Colossus, you should remedy that ASAP, and don't expect just a typical remaster. Again, this is a ground-up remake of SOTC for the PlayStation 4. Even if you played it back in the day, man, there's reason to go back and play through a game like this on the PlayStation 4, and if you played it back in the day, you probably already know the immense quality that it brings, and to be able to play it again with the incredible visuals that the PlayStation 4 can offer, of course, that's a no-brainer, and for $15, it's a great buy. Next up, we have a JRPG that I recommend a lot, and that is Tokyo Xandu EX Plus. Its deepest discount ever. It is 80% off, down to $12. For a little while, I was complaining about this game really retaining in value. It was holding up at that $30 price point. Then it finally dropped to $18, and now we have it for a measly $12, and Tokyo Xandu is a great JRPG. I've often compared it to Persona 5, but I always have to preface that by saying it's not as good as Persona 5. Persona 5 is a masterclass in JRPG development. Tokyo Xandu quite isn't that. However, it does have some very charming characters, it does have a quality story, and what you get out of the game is still very much enjoyable. Probably not a gateway JRPG, in that I wouldn't recommend this to newcomers of the genre. I probably would say, hey, if you want a game like this, get Persona 5. But Tokyo Xandu, for those of you that play Persona 5 and really enjoyed it, and you want something a little similar, or you just want a quality JRPG, it definitely fits the bill, and for $12, it's a great buy. Next up, the Valkyria Chronicles games are on sale as well, and Valkyria Chronicles Remastered is actually on sale. They'll put VC4 on sale all the time, but the remastered version of VC1 is a little bit more of a rarity to go on sale. Not a deep discount, but it is 30% off for $14, and Valkyria Chronicles 1 is a great game. Valkyria Chronicles 4 is also on sale, 50% off for $30. They're generally very similar. Valkyria Chronicles 4 does have some improvements, some quality of life improvements. You've got difficulty settings in there as well. You've got a new class, but generally the fundamentals are retained. If you want to start off with VC1, you can do that. Valkyria Chronicles 4 follows its own story that takes place parallel to VC1, so you can jump into VC4 no problem. Both games have excellent storytelling, great visuals, and great tactics-based gameplay. If you want the cheaper route, VC Remastered for $14 is great, and VC4 for $30, of course, is excellent as well. And by the way, VC4 does have a free demo, so you can check that out as well if you're interested. And lastly, I do want to give a shout to Zeroscape, the known area games. That is 80% off for $9.99. Zero Time Dilemma is also on sale. That's for $7.99. Both of these games are very good story-driven games, and with visual novels gaining some traction on the PlayStation 4. And just over here in the West in general, with games like Danganronpa, Zonky Zero just came out, and that has a lot of VN elements. But Zeroscape, the known area games, is a great buy. You've got $9.99 and Virtue's Last Reward in here, and those are two very compelling visual novels with excellent storytelling, incredibly gripping. I would put them on level with the Danganronpa games, and you guys know how highly I think of Danganronpa. Zeroscape is right up there with them, and after you play through the known area games, Zero Time Dilemma is a great buy as well. So $9.99 for that is excellent. That's 80% off. And that's gonna conclude this video. Again, I feel like the Golden Week sale is being undermined a little bit just because a lot of you guys are seeing all of these Japanese games being promoted, and those Japanese games are very good. However, to a Western gamer, you can find enjoyment out of MH World, Gravity Rush 2, Resident Evil 2, Dead Cells. Nier Automata offers incredible action-oriented gameplay. Shadow of the Colossus, that game is remarkable. DQ11 is great. The Valkyria Chronicles games are awesome, and they are great gateway JRPGs. For those of you more versed in JRPGs, Tokyo Xanadu EX Plus at $12 is a great buy, and Zeroscape, the known area games, for $9.99, that is tremendous as well. That's gonna conclude this video. Sound off with all of your thoughts in the comment section down below. Thank you for watching, and goodbye. Hey guys, we hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, make sure to hit the subscribe button, and if you're already subscribed, do us a favor and hit the bell icon. This way you'll be notified whenever we post a new video. That's the best way to keep up with all of our uploads, and we usually try to upload 2 videos a day. And with the bell icon hit, you'll be notified whenever we do upload a video. As always, thanks for watching.